everyone! I'm so excited if you're back for episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about underrated singer-songwriters that I feel everyone should listen to feel better. I would like to start off this topic with music is the universal language. No matter what baseline language we speak, music always tends to bring people together. So does food, but we can do that for another day. This list of singer-songwriters are in absolutely no particular order. There will be additional honorable mentions at the end that didn't make it into the final list because my middle name is
indecisive.
If there's any artist that I don't list here, singer-songwriter or anyone, that you think I should listen to or look at their work, I'm always open to comments and seeing the people that you're interested in. So yeah, put them in the comments below and I will definitely take a listen or a look at them. So the first group that I want to talk about today is Simon and Garfunkel. Now, out of the whole list, they are probably the most recognizable name. Their genre was described as folk rock. Just listening to them kind of centers my gravity a little bit. Their most successful album actually was the last one that they did together leading up into the 70s, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Many people since then have covered their songs and they're actually really good storytellers. Their composition and their lyricism took elements from their start in the late 50s all the way up until their break as a duo in the 70s. So the next person I want to talk about is John Denver. Now, I grew up actually listening to his music because my mom was a huge fan. But after researching into him a little bit, he actually did a lot of humanitarian work. Again, like Simon and Garfunkel, he wrote a lot of very famous music that many people have gone on to cover. He is another one of those artists for me, like Simon and Garfunkel, that you could just listen to him and like lean back in a lawn chair with an iced tea or a lemonade and just like relax. I don't know what it is about his music, but it's just very comforting. I tend to have a fondness for singer-songwriters especially that find a way to give back to their community, not just through music, but in other ways as well, that it shows their connection to their audience and they really do love them on a personal level. He also earned 12 gold albums and 4 platinum albums for his work. So the next person that I want to talk about is Ava Cassidy. She had an amazingly powerful, controlled soprano voice and was known for her work in the jazz and blues genre. If you're looking for another one of those singers that has a comforting, soft quality to her voice, she is the person to go to. The weirdest part about her as a singer-songwriter is she died very young at the age of 33, and her music didn't really become famous until after she died in '96. So she really was only on the scene physically for 4 years. There's just something about her voice that pulls you in, and I really think people should know her name and the kind of singer that she was. The next singer I want to talk about on this list is Aurora. Now, many of you may know her recently from being the background voice in Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. Again, very beautiful, clear voice, could listen to her for hours. But the funniest part about her career is how many genres she is sectioned into. She's listed as being part of art pop, electropop, folktronica, I've never heard of that one, synth pop, baroque pop, and lastly, alternative pop. Like,
What?
She's only 23 years old, and to me, she just has this very ethereal, easy listening quality. Almost like being in the mountains of Northern Europe. It's just, again, could listen to her for hours. So next on my list is the rapper, Lunch Money Lewis. Now, I'm gonna guess that a majority of you do not know who he is, but you probably have heard his songs before. He's best known for his 2015 single, Bills, which went all the way to the top of the charts. It was shown in dozens of commercials. He has topped the charts in Australia, the UK, and New Zealand. His music's been featured in Madden NFL 16, WrestleMania, and lastly, he's probably one of the most interesting lyricists I've ever heard. Sometimes I have to go back and listen to his songs probably 4 or 5 times to really hone in on where he's going with his song and what he's trying to say in his message, but it is some really powerful stuff. So next on this list for me is Carrie Job. Her genre is contemporary Christian, and even if you are not very religious, she is one of those artists that just always has the right words to say when you need them through her music. People have described her singing voice as majestic. Like,
how much better can you get?
People have sat and listened to her, tears streaming down their face. She has power behind her singing, not just the lyrics, but the emotion that she draws from herself to give to her audience. Her sweet soul and her positive message just pulls through her music, and it's invigorating. So next on this list is the singer/rapper Smack B. Her work has been typically described as pop with island vibes. So if you're feeling summer in the middle of winter, go and give her a listen. She's done both covers and her own music, and her cover of Man Down by Rihanna is epic. It's a bop. She recently wrote a song back in mid-2019 called Abnormal, and you seriously cannot help but groove to this song when you hear it. However, it has a very, very deep message that, without knowing what it's about, you wouldn't necessarily get that from the lyrics. It kind of shows how smart of a lyricist she is, hiding indiscreet messages that aren't necessarily there on the surface, and that when people look into the song further, are able to discover something they never even knew existed within the song. The next singer I want to talk about is Marina and the Diamonds. You've probably heard her songs on TV, commercials, in movies, but she's one of those artists that if you didn't have Shazam, you might not know it's her. I don't know why this gets me, but all of her songs sound different. Like, not one of her songs sounds similar to another. Also, her lyricism, like Lunch Money Lewis, is totally relatable on all levels. How to Be a Heartbreaker is probably one of my personal favorites. Getting towards the end here, the next one on my list is Tracy Chapman. She has a very eclectic mix to her music, but it all tends to meet in the middle beautifully. Folk, blues, rock, pop, soul, you name it. Again, a very easy listen, even when the topics within the lyrics are deeply emotional. She had a very hard childhood, and that seems to exude itself into her music and the way that she relates to her audience and sings to her audience and writes for her audience. It's just a very beautiful message in everything she does.
And she's a 4-time Grammy winner.
The last person I have on my list is Yebba. Her real name actually is Abby, A-B-B-E-Y, but she switched around the letters and created this whole new name for herself, kind of like Halsey. First off, I have to say, she can riff like it is nobody's business. So if you're interested in that kind of singing, she is the one to listen to, hands down. And the cool part about her is she's not only a solo artist, she has a very strong connection with collaborating with other artists. Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran, Stormzy, and many, many others. Now I think at her very prime young age of 25, she has a very good career ahead of her with the connections and the collaborations that she has done and made over the last few years of her career. So that is it for my main list. Next will be all of my honorable mentions that I didn't really get a chance to elaborate on, but definitely should have made the cut and that you should take a listen to sometime.
There's an outcast in everybody's life, and I am her.
On se fait du mal, faudrait qu'on passe à autre chose, on se fait du mal.
Well, thanks so much for listening in again to episode 2. I hope that a new video will be coming soon. If you have any requests on topics that you'd like me to talk about, leave them in the comments below, and I will take a look at them. Peace, love, and blessings to you all.